from WEEK, your home team. This is 25 News at 6.
The timing couldn't be worse for some local apartment residents. Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Caitlin Canute. These residents could soon find themselves without a place to live. This after Peoria city officials gave their landlord a deadline to fix safety issues. 25
News reporter Denise Jackson is here to explain with tonight's top story.
Tyler and Caitlin, problems at the high-rise located behind Peoria's main hospitals came to a head after a fire there in July. This fire in July that happened at 1505 on the Avenue, also known as Penn Terrace, brought to light electrical problems. Since then, the top 2 floors of the 100-unit building have been closed. Peoria city officials say the building owner has failed to fix electrical problems that could cause another fire.
If a fire did get caused, or they were that out of compliance that when you don't have an adequate fire alarm system or fire code doors to help that, it was just a bunch of circumstances that we felt kept getting worse.
Residents live in 37 apartments. They were given notices on Thursday that they must be out of the building by 1 o'clock Tuesday.
I had to take today off, so I'm losing pay. I'm going around to apartments, trying to find places. I'm kind of strapped for cash.
Nobody's happy about it. It's just like putting everybody on the spot, like last-minute notice, pretty much.
We tried to talk with the apartment manager inside the building, but she had no comment. Another resident who has been there just a couple of months said he's also been trying to get answers.
She ain't got no answers for nobody, and she can't do nothing about it, so I'm trying to figure out what we're supposed to do.
Joe Doolin with the Peoria Community Development Department says they're trying to make sure that the apartment residents get help finding other places to live. Local attorney Thomas McConney represents the New Jersey company that owns the building, and we reached out to him several times today, but so far he has not returned our phone calls. Tyler and Caitlin.
Thank you, Denise. Big business is on its way now to Central Illinois. Today, the Branch Group of companies announced plans for the former Conskild plant.
That's right. This could mean many more job opportunities right here in Central Illinois making agricultural equipment. Our own Monica Murphy attended today's event. She joins us now. And Monica, just how many jobs can we expect to see?
Caitlin, hundreds. Brandt says they're looking to create about 300 positions in the next few years and then a total of 500 in the future. Now, we spoke with Brandt chairman Gavin Simple, who bought the business about 45 years ago, and he says it's the people that make all the difference.
This is a little overwhelming, the response that we've received here.
It was a big effort to bring an international company like Brandt to Illinois.
We talked about all the advantages of why they should come to the great state of Illinois. Our people, our workforce, our education system, our location, our transportation. We're the heart of manufacturing and we're the heart of agriculture in America, and that's what their company is all about.
Hans Rasmussen will be one of Brandt's first employees and was a major player in making the company's dream a reality.
I met Gavin approximately 12 years ago. We were working on some other projects, and we actually did a cooperation together for a few years. And ever since then, we stayed in touch. And when we came to the point where we were looking for a buyer for this facility, one of the names I gave was Brandt.
Brandt is headquartered in Regina, Canada, making this the company's first U.S. plant.
Giving the employees here an opportunity for good career jobs.
Chairman Gavin Simple revealed that one of the biggest reasons why his company has been so successful is because they're all about adding value to their employees.
Because the people are going to make the difference between winning organizations and organizations that don't win.
As for the future, Brandt wants to get people back to work as quickly as possible. It's also designing new products.
We better do a good job of attracting people, training and giving them the tools, the training and the technology they need to perform well.
The company is taking job applications now for work that includes anything from manufacturing to clerical. In McLean County, Monica Murphy. Now, production is expected to start in the first quarter of next year, and we asked what the pay ranges would be for the jobs. Now, they told us they're still working on job descriptions, so they didn't have wage information. There is a link and information on our website at week.com.
All right. Thank you, Monica. Of course, anything that brings jobs to the area sounds great, but who exactly is Brandt?
That's what we need to know. Reporter Alex Mackey is here now with a look at the company's resume.
Caitlin, Tyler, that's right. The Brandt Company began almost 80 years ago as Brandt Electric, a small company specializing in farming equipment. Flash forward to 2017, and the game has totally changed. The Brandt group of companies have their hand in 8 different businesses now, including railroads, engineering, finance, and mining. But their farm equipment remains their top seller. They're also the largest privately held dealer for John Deere construction and forestry equipment. Their website boasts about their various attachments for tractors. All the way from Saskatchewan, Canada, the company employs almost 2,000 people across 20 countries and 6 continents. Brandt just surpassed their $1 billion revenue mark. Again, as we just reported, the plant in Hudson will be their first U.S. operation. Back to you.
All right, Alex, conservative magazine National Review is blasting Governor Bruce Rauner in next month's issue. The publication labels Rauner as the worst Republican governor in America. This comes after Rauner signed 2 controversial bills. One of those, they claim, makes Illinois a sanctuary state. They're also upset about the fact that another bill expanded abortion rights using taxpayer dollars. So the magazine talks about the state's economic woes, job losses, and the 2-year budget crisis that left us in dire straits. A Paul Simon Public Policy Institute poll has the governor's approval rating at just over 35%. Chicago saw a drop in gun violence for the 9th straight month this year, and the city's top cop broke those numbers down today.
We've seen a nearly 14% reduction in murders, and over 21% reduction in shootings, and a nearly 20% reduction in shooting victims. All told, that comes out to nearly 800 less people shot in Chicago compared to last year.
That is a big turnaround for Chicago, which saw one of its bloodiest years in 2 decades last year, with more than 4,300 shooting victims and nearly 800 homicides.
Well, police officers in Illinois being hailed as heroes right now after a fiery rescue was caught on camera. So check out this dash cam video. You see a group of officers approaching that flaming vehicle. The officers were responding to a hit-and-run collision last night in Oswego. The police department says the man inside that vehicle was actually refusing to exit, but the officers persisted. You see them dragging him away there from that fire as officers are working to fight the flames themselves. Police officers from several departments, including Oswego, Montgomery, and the Kendall County Sheriff's Office, all working together on that rescue. In all, there were 3 officers who were injured, 2 of them suffering smoke inhalation, 1 who was burned. A suspect already awaiting trial for allegedly murdering a man in East Peoria last year is now accused of plotting more killings while behind bars. 48-year-old Kenneth Oler has been charged with soliciting murder and soliciting aggravated arson. The Peoria Journal-Star is reporting Oler allegedly asked 2 former inmates to blow up or set fire to the home of the man he's accused of killing, with the victim's wife and son inside. 60-year-old Mike Dixon was killed almost 1 year ago inside his home in the 800 block of Springfield Road. Oler was arrested after being identified by Dixon's family. They claim he came to the home looking for Dixon's stepson after being fired from the job where they both worked.
Meanwhile, another Tazewell County inmate has been charged with possessing a weapon behind bars. And what's worse, the Journal-Star is reporting that he allegedly told a fellow inmate he was going to use it to stab a pregnant guard. The paper also states that this man, 28-year-old Brian Arnold of Delavan, admitted to making a knife but claimed he did so for self-protection. He's now facing a felony charge punishable by 4 to 15 years if convicted. He was already in jail on charges of possessing a stolen vehicle and unlawful use of a credit card.
Turning to national news now, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. Flynn acknowledges misleading federal agents back in January about the nature of conversations he had with Russia's U.S. ambassador. He's pledging his full cooperation with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential campaign. NBC News reporting that a source close to President Trump calls the developments regarding Flynn very, very, very bad.
Former President Bill Clinton served as the keynote speaker for a World AIDS Day event in San Francisco. Friday's event was held at the AIDS Memorial Grove at Golden Gate Park and featured the theme, Bending the Arc Towards Justice. Former President Clinton recognized San Francisco as the only safe haven for members of the gay community during the 1980s AIDS epidemic. He says while progress has been made, a lot of challenges remain ahead, and it's up to those who remain to continue the fight and do the bending.
If you weren't around in the 1980s, when people started dying like flies, it is almost impossible to imagine, first of all, how painful it was, how helpless people felt. It wasn't just people you love were dying. Everybody thought, well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Friday's event marked more than 25 years since the work started on an AIDS memorial at that site in Golden Gate Park. Since 1991, it has been conceived as a quiet place to grieve and remember those lost to the AIDS epidemic.
And locally, their focus is on this issue. As Executive Director for Central Illinois Friends, Derek Kimmler says that AIDS isn't something that's relegated to the past. He says it's prevalent right here in Central Illinois and perhaps not where you'd expect it.
So not only is it still very prevalent, it's very prevalent locally.
Yeah, Derek goes on to say that they're most worried about right now those between the ages of 13 and 25. 13 to 25-year-olds contracting that disease right here in Central Illinois. Speaking of Central Illinois Friends, they do offer confidential HIV and STI screenings. They also offer support and services to those living with HIV and AIDS. They're holding a World's AIDS Day event right now as we speak at the U of I College of Medicine.
Next on 25 News, is that star getting brighter at the Festival of Lights in East Peoria?
It will be soon. We'll tell you why they're going bigger and brighter to honor a longtime volunteer up next.
And our star is so bright, this weather is just unreal. Here's the star, Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins.
I thought you were talking about that yellow star in the sky about 93 million miles away, but I'll take that star any day of the week, especially if it yields 50-degree temperatures, and it will over the weekend. Let's check those currents right now. 46 in Peoria, 40 in the Twin Cities. As far as our forecast is concerned, we'll carry clear skies overnight and a few clouds coming our way, but not many, and highs once again in the 50s over the weekend, but we'll talk about a cold snap coming our way in a few minutes.
You're watching 25 News at 6 with Tyler Lopez, Caitlin Canute, Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins, and Jim Matson. Sports. 25 News is your home team.